or how you might feel like this person is stopping you from being a person that you want to be, and you still love this person, but you want to be this person. You're like,
That's
I
the
want
hardest
this so much.
realization,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're like, I want this thing so much, but I want this thing so much too. I want me to be this person, but she wants me to be this person. You're like, so do I stay here or do I try to change and then risk losing this person? I don't know. I don't know.
Broken hearts don't love, handle with care with gloves, covered with scars and cuts, he's lost a lot of blood. Hearts are never meant to race, baby, can you give me some time? Told me your problems, I couldn't solve them, drowning in mine.
I will be dropping new music soon,
Under
but
the
you can
rebrand.
follow me on Instagram at 3407.velo. You can follow me on Twitter at 3407.velo. I'm not going to say nothing on Twitter, so don't think I'm going to say nothing on Twitter. Yeah, that's where everything's going to be at.
So we are sitting here with the artist formerly known as Stino Guapo, but now known as Velo. How are you feeling?
I feel a little queasy on this inside.
Queasy? Why would you? Why do you feel queasy? Are you nervous?
In a way, because I feel like there's a lot weighing on the next year, this year. It's a big year for me. I feel like it's a big year for me.
So would you say it's coming from a place of like
Excitement.
or are you more so anxious?
Yeah, excitement, 100%. 100% excitement. Like, I'm excited
So-
about everything.
Where did the name switch come from? Like, how did that come about?
The name switch came from wanting to like shed my old skin, like just everything about myself, like recreate myself. You know, like they talk about like in mythology about the phoenix. I've always had like a crazy obsession with that, and like I've come to a point where I realized I have to do the full transformation, like, and my name being a part of it. Like, I always felt like I was like piggybacking on this name because it was just, I had done so much work and things under that name. And really, I want to separate myself from all the things that I've done in the past, like, including the good things, bad things, everything. Like, I just want to separate myself completely and start from this point. You know, because it's like, you know, when they talk about the phoenix doesn't burn itself partially. It turns all the way into ash. Ash is nothing. It has almost no value. Like, you know what I mean? You've already denatured the thing completely to nothing. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to take myself back to nothing.
As an artist, are there certain qualities within yourself that you had previously that you feel like you're going to implement into your new rebrand? Like, obviously you're restarting, but I feel like you have a lot of qualities, you know, that you can also relay to the rebrand.
Honestly, I feel like the thing that I'm focused on most is love. Like, just portraying. I feel like love is like a really genuine emotion, and I feel like that's the biggest thing that you should focus on when doing things in general. Like, your love for it, your love for the person, or how you feel about the person, whether it is love or unlove, whatever it is, or the thing, whatever it is. I feel like that's the most important thing that I want to bring into myself, or this new work of art that I'm trying to create, like this new discography, my artwork, my everything. I want to put 100% into all of it, and I want it to be clear that I am putting myself into it, like that nothing is halfway done, nothing is a quarter away done. Everything is completely full-fledged. When you've seen it, it was already prepared. My heart lies in my music at the end of the day. Like, everything that I've done and learned how to do since I started my journey in music was to supplement my love for music. Like, I learned how to engineer because I wanted to be able to make music constantly, like every day, all day. I learned how to produce for the same reason. I started booking my own shows because I wanted to perform. I started, learning graphic design so I can make cover arts. Everything was for that one reason. Like that drove a lot of the stuff. I went to school, you know what I mean? It was like everything was driven by this one thing. All I wanted to do was make music. And
Right.
everything that got in the way of me making music and got in the way of me being able to do it constantly, those were the, what is it called, like the humps that I was trying to get
Right.
over. And it ended up teaching me things. The journey was like, it was to get to making music all day. It makes sense that you sat right there.
So, what can we expect from you in 2022?
You can expect change. That's just so broad, like, but you can expect change. Like, I'm changing my approach to music. I'm changing like my avenues that I've gotten into writing, which is like broaden my own knowledge about what I can write about. A lot of the times I was writing about things that were like, and this is like an arbitrary thought, things are like simple, which relationships, I write about relationships a lot, which is, it's not necessarily simple, but when you think about it in music, you think about a relationship, you're like, okay, what's the relationship? Well, what is the relationship gonna be like? Oh, it's gonna be love. You're gonna be, oh, I'm so in love, right? That's one way. Or you could write about a song and like, oh, this is so toxic, like this is a bad relationship. Or you could write about being heartbroken, or you could write about being, mad at the person or whatever it is. It seems simple on the outside, right? But like writing about that and creating what is it called? The surroundings, like the environment that you feel on your insides when you go through that is what I want to write about. Like, let's say I'm writing about, being in love, right? Some people, you could write the song and say, hey, I'm in love. I love this person so much, to the moon and back, right? You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you want to say. But at the end of the day, that's been said. That's been said already.
And I think that my favorite thing about how you write is the perspective you write about love from. And I think most of the music that I like in general, especially love songs, it's written from a perspective in which people don't think to write about. Like different situations, like in Eden, or you know what I'm saying, where people don't really think to write about, oh, we really like being together, but we know we're not good for each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to become a better version of myself for you, but I don't know how to. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is probably one of my favorite.
Right. Because that's like that scape. It's like that landscape that you have on your inside. Like, yeah, you might be in love with this person, but what's going on your inside when you see this person? Like, are you thinking about like how you don't deserve this person, or how you might feel like this person is stopping you from being a person that you want to be, and you still love this person, but you want to be this person. You're like,
that's
I
the
want
hardest
this so much.
realization.
Yeah, you're like, I want this thing so much, but I want this thing so much too. I want me to be this person, but she wants me to be this person. You're like, so do I stay here, or do I try to change and then risk losing this person? I don't know. Like, love songs are a lot of times about a release. It's about cathartic release, like being able to, because a lot of people I feel like are trapped on the inside. They're trapped. They're stuck. They can't emotionally emote. They can't emotionally release. And I feel like, especially me being, just a male in general, I feel like a lot of times in music these days, a lot of emotion is not delivered.
It's not.
As a male, like, and so like to release and to be able to feel like your emotions are being like touched and felt is important. I feel like it's important as a man, woman, of course. Like, I feel like it's important. It's gonna be redundant. It's gonna be redundant. I write music. I write, like, literally, I write in the moment that I feel things, like, in the moment, like right when I feel it. I'm usually, in this headspace where I'm prepared to create. So sometimes it makes like having regular conversations for me sometimes like clunky, because like I'm like, I'm thinking like about this, about making music. So it's like sometimes I'm having conversation and it's difficult for me to like keep my train of thought, and I'll like get, what is it called? Yeah, I get sidetracked, and I end up saying something it might not even be relevant, but I'm really like just trying to keep my mind on the idea. But like, yeah, I end up writing. Like I'll be hurt about something, and I'll write about that specific situation. That's why I feel like I want my music to be felt, because I know everybody's experienced everything already. Everything that I'm experiencing now, somebody has already experienced it. Someone's going through it right now. Someone went through it yesterday. Someone went through it the day before that. Somebody's gonna hear it and have been through this exact situation. So like sugarcoating the situation doesn't really help. I feel like it helps to be as clear as possible, and that helps me when I write, like to just be absolutely transparent about the situation. Like as no matter good or bad, how bad the situation is, just be transparent as possible.
Can you write and create without a muse? Like,
I'm always in love though.
Okay.
All the time.
So do you have a Valentine's? Do you have somebody,
No, I
you know what I'm saying?
I don't.
So even if you're not actually dating somebody, you can tap into that feeling that you've had for somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I have that feeling now. All the time.
You said all the time. So would you consider yourself a lover boy?
No.
Would you consider
yourself?
What would you consider yourself? Like
I don't know what a lover boy is.
Drake would consider himself a lover boy.
Drake? Yes,
Like, what would you say you love love? You love love.
Yes, I do love love. 100%.
And you act out of love.
Most of the time, yeah. Like 80% of the time. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I was just having a conversation with somebody the other day about appreciating like pieces of a project, right? I remember in school I used to not be able to do work, like not be able to finish projects, not be able to do homework, not be able to do this or that, because I always felt like I had to complete it now. Like I've always had a right now type of personality. Like, you know, I'm an Aries, so it's like I'm always want something right now. Like it's got to be now, or I don't want it at all. And that's not a healthy way to think. You know what I mean? In a lot of cases, you feel like, you know, they say you can move a mountain a spoonful at a time. You know what I'm saying? So like really you should really be chipping away at everything that you want out of life, right? Like doing stuff around my house, like, you know, figuring out like, okay, I need to do this at this time. And then, you know, I might wash the dishes at this time, you know, sweep at this time, you know, do my clothes at this time. It's like just little things, figuring out that everything doesn't have to be an end-all be-all. Like it's either I'm gonna do it or I'm not gonna do it. It's like one at a time. Do one thing at a time.
So overall, what I'm hearing is this rebrand is not just surface level. It's not an artist. I'm just want to change my name, my style. You're rebranding like to the core.
Yeah. In terms of like doubt, I feel like I've had doubt from the beginning. Like I had doubts. My biggest doubts were in the beginning when I was deciding that it was what I wanted to do. Like, this is what I wanted to do for my life, right? And I've had moments in my life where I felt like I might not want to do this exactly, like, but it hasn't been a time, maybe fleeting thoughts, like just for a second, like maybe I shouldn't do this, but really I don't have thoughts like that. Really, I don't often have thoughts like I shouldn't do this. It might be I need to do this more, or I need to do this less, but not that I just want this completely. I just want this. This is it.
That's good, because I feel like you definitely inspire a lot of people around you just to kind of fully jump and embrace like their passions and what they really want to do, myself included, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's good that you don't really have those thoughts often, because in order to get where you really want to go, you have to be consistent, and in order to be consistent, you have to really believe in yourself. Right.
They talk about very similar things in the Paulo Coelho's book called The Valkyries. He talks about it's observing your environment and being aware of everything around you, and expanding your horizon, because it's good to think about, all these people in this room, but it's also good to think about all the people that are outside the room, all the things that are happening outside the room.
Right.
Everything beyond this, what is it called, our bubble, our own personal space, like all the things
even
that are
outside our network.
exactly, like things that are happening that we aren't necessarily prone to think about. And I feel like a lot of these things that I've learned in these books has changed the way that I see the world, changed the way that I act on the world, and even perceiving how it acts on me, like how the world acts on me. But Paulo Coelho and Malcolm Gladwell are for sure like something I feel like has made a positive impact on like this journey, and kind of like what is it called, molded this routine, the rebranding, everything. Like it's molding it as we speak. I mean, I was reading like an hour ago, so it's like even today, like I'm no different than an hour ago.
So overall, like just tying it all back in, so just reading in general, how it's helping you kind of rebrand to the core, like we were talking about. How do you feel like it all ties back into like why you started making music, or why did you get into,
That's funny. So when I was really, really young, I can't even remember, before I was 9 years old. It was sometime before when I was 9, because that's when I moved from LA. So my grandmother, I believe, got me this book by Paulo Coelho called The Alchemist, and I read it when I was less than 9. So, and all those ideologies that he talks about in that book alone make up that doubt thing, everything. It makes up the person that I am now. Like I reread it recently, and just seeing how hand in hand it goes with my own thought process, like down to the letter. Like everything he says in that book is exactly me. Exactly. Like if you read the book, you would know who I am. That's it.
Tell me, have you ever broke a glass? Did you even try to put it back? Or did you gather up the little pieces and just dump them straight in the trash? So many little pieces missing from it, so many little cracks. Can't even bother with the rest of it, cause what's left of it wouldn't last. Fill up my heart with money, fill up my heart with cash. Can you take away the hurt from me? Drugs just never